Hello everybody, Icelanders is here, and the new Shores, a worthy successor. Some of you don't know the game creators of the game called Islanders, but I've been following his YouTube channel for a while and I recommend you to subscribe to him. Islanders New Shores feature two different game modes, with the high score mode forming the foundation of the entire game. We'll delve into that first, as where all the puzzles and roguelike elements are interwoven. From what I'm about to describe you'll see that it's a relaxing game to play, but winning isn't even a given. In high score mode, you tasked with collecting enough points on which exact island to advance to the next. You complete a total of 20 islands before reaching the end of your run. This isn't easy, as there are several factors to consider. On each island, you'll immediately receive a map pack. This pack contains the buildings you need to place on around the island. Think of a fishing village, a lumber camp, a town center around which you can build the houses and even parks. The entire game revolves around a scoring system which is clearly explained in this section. Hovering over a building reveals how you can score points. A brewery receives extra points if there is a swim from nearby. However, this doesn't work the other way around, meaning you have to hope you get seaweed farm first before building the brewery. Mansions, on the other hand, they have earned high points if they're located near a fountain, park, temple, statue, or mansion. However, you'll receive negative points if there is circus, harbor, or a dock with their radius. Don't place a park next to industrial buildings, as they will result in negative points. You naturally want to place a fishery in location with plenty of fish, but placing a seaweed farm there will actually result in negative points. So you have to be careful and not just blindly place anything. The negative points could easily lead to a negative score, which will actually result in a loss of points. To indicate which buildings are too close to another, each building has a radius. This is the further elaborated for some buildings where the field of view very important. Radiuses make it clear that you must keep these clear if you want to score some points. With all of this information, you might think that it's easy to place everything in the right place, but first you have to earn the card packs. The numbers typed in the circle tell you how many points you need to score with your buildings. When the circle is full, you get a choice of 2 cards back. You have no idea what you'll get, so planning ahead is mainly done by keeping space free. You don't need to have played a few games first, because only then can you start memorizing all the bonuses. The buildings are easily placed on the island and can be rotated, allowing you to place the houses as close together as possible. The game is therefore primarily played with your mouse. In addition to the score meter, there's always another meter you have to keep an eye on. The meter is displayed around a large boulder which later transforms into a compass. This meter determines when you scored enough points to travel to the next island. Even if it's full, you don't have to leave immediately. You can continue playing on your current island to achieve a higher score. This is especially important if you want to rank high on the online leaderboards. So mainly busy construction buildings on a colorful island while calmly trying to tally up all your points, it seems an odd combination for a roguelike. But because it's actually quite relaxing before you know it, you've been playing longer than intended. Islanders New Shores has been more to offer. The meter that fills up further travel after the first island also introduces so-called boons. These boons are one of the reasons I mentioned the roguelike genre, because they are two. You can earn random bonuses. When you unlock a boon, you can choose between the two options. You might fight finally to be able to remove a building while retaining half of the points, and other times production buildings don't yield any negative points, while in another case you can increase a building's radius. You rarely carry the boon with your next island, so you practically always have to use them. Yet, I often found myself forgetting them or not knowing them properly. Some boons are simply more valuable than others. For example, there's a boon that lets you travel directly to the next island. And these boons are really helpful. The same goes for a boon that instantly grants you a new card pack. The boons are therefore varied, and if you put in a few more hours, I'm convinced they'll all be useful. Besides the boons, the island also significantly impacts your strategic choices. After completing an island, you can choose the next one. Two choices determine when you travel. There are many different islands, each with the different initial appearance. Think tropical island, volcano, fantasy setting, or winter landscape. All islands are colorful. The developers have ensured that you maintain a clear overview and that it never becomes too crowded. For example, all buildings have unique appearances with some minor details, yet they remain consistent with the rest of the game. This allows you to immediately know what kind of building you are looking at from above. The game interface is really generally very clear, allowing you to focus on the gameplay. The island appearances also impacts the amount of space you have. While multiple small areas, it becomes difficult to place many houses to a next center. And the further you go, the smaller the areas sometimes become. This immediately makes the game much more challenging as the careful planning is required. In some cases, an island grants you access to a new building of a new effect. In the lava area, I had to place fortune teller, while on the other island, I had to build a harbor or temple. There are several variations, so isn't a given. There is also special effects. On one of the islands, I had to break the sacred rocks by placing buildings near them. Breaking these not only gives you more space, but also extra points. This way, you have small goals that can help you achieve a high score. If you're done with achieving a high score, there is a sandbox mode. Here you can generate your own islands and fill it with the buildings that decorations. Your focus isn't on achieving a high score, but rather on making the area beautiful. I was a bit skeptical about this at first, because there are many buildings that you can only place them. They only have only one function. However, you do more choices as you have access to all decoration, all building pieces, and the buildings. You can also resize everything that even determine its position, so you can stack buildings on the top of each other or place a ship halfway in the water, making it look like sinking. This makes this more especially suitable for creative type of gamers who want a breakdown from the other modes. Since the game has a photo mode, it's a perfect place to use it, although I have to say I really enjoyed photographing my islands in score mode. So, New Shores can easily be called a worthy and a perfect successor. The game looks colorful and atmospheric, making the buildings immediately clear. The point system determines your high score, so it's nice that you even know clearly displayed. With the help of the boons and new buildings and various islands, the game remains challenging yet relaxing. You have to earn more and more points to travel to a new island. The boons are somewhat variable in the terms of bonuses, so they don't always feel useful. If you're tired adding up your points, there are still sandbox mode. Here you can creatively decor or build the island. Afterward, you can take a picture right away in the photo mode. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace.